My pranams to all Atma Jyotis, divine light of the self. I welcome all of you for today's session of Drak Drashya Viveka. Drak Drashya Viveka is the discrimination between the seer and seen. It's a method of Atma Vichara or self-enquiry. So let us contemplate on Drak Drashya Viveka by Sri Shankaracharya. Let us offer our pranams to Guru Parampara. Sada Shiva Samarambha Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karuna Alayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram. Let us start contemplation on Drak Drashya Viveka. In the last couple of classes, we discussed about three seers. The seer 1, seer 2, and seer 3. What is the seer 1 and seer 2? When I see a flower, when I see a fruit or a flower, my eyes become the seer. The seer number 1 is the eyes. So I consider myself as body as the seer, and I am the body, and eyes as the seer. But is I real seer? So the mind understands what's happening with respect to eyes. My eyes are red, my eyes are burning, my eyes have pain. So the mind is the seer, eyes are the seen. So then, is the mind seer? Mind is the seer number 2. Then there's seer number 3. Seer number 3 is the sakshi or the witness. What is the seer number 3? Seer number 3 is able to see, illuminate. Oh, there are thoughts in the mind, there are no thoughts in the mind. Then which is the real seer? The real seer is the seer number 3. Now, when I say I am seeing, who is really seeing? There's a combination of 3 eyes, seer number 1, seer number 2, seer number 3. When I say I see, the seer number 1, seer number 2, seer number 3 is mixed up. So sometimes I think body is the seer, sometimes I think mind is the seer, and I don't even know the sakshi is the real seer. Out of these, the seer number 2 and seer number 1 are mithya, unreal. Seer number 3, sakshi or the Atma, is the only real seer, because seer number 3 does not change. Seer number 1 and 2 keeps on changing. Seer number 2 and seer number 1 is unreal compared to seer number 3. Seer number 3 alone is real, the sakshi. But when I say I am eating, I am drinking, I am going, I am walking, I am still not clear who is the real seer. So this confusion is called samsara. Mixing up seer number 3, seer number 2, seer number 1. Mixing up the body, mind and intellect with the Atma is the confusion of samsara. So Atma Jnana is clearly separating out who is the seer and who is the seen. Let us go to next slokas. So now the confusion is there in all of us. What is the cause of the confusion? Sri Shankaracharya, the author, says it's about 2 powers of Maya Shakti. Maya Shakti is the cause for this confusion. There are 2 powers of Maya. The powers of Maya is called projecting power, called Vikshep Shakti, and called Avarana Shakti. These are the 2 powers responsible for our samsara. What is the world? The world is nothing but The manifestation of name and form. The creation is nothing but name and form. Manifestation of name and form in Brahman. The superimposition of name and form on Brahman is called creation. We'll understand what is the meaning of that. So now what is this veiling power of Maya does? Veiling power of Maya covers distinction between the perceiver and perceived. Between the Sakshi and the mind, the distinction is concealed. Then there are some objects which are conceived within the body and objects are perceived in the outer world. So that distinction is blurred. Distinction is Brahman and the world. That distinction is also covered. This power is the cause of the phenomenal universe or samsara. So let us understand the Maya Shakti. Look at the movie being projected on a screen. So there is a movie which is projected on the screen. Various characters come in the movie and disappear. There is some horror movie, there's a war, there's a fight, there's anger, there's romance. So many things happen in the movie. Now, when you see the movie, what do you forget? This is a background screen is there all the time. Movie appears and disappears, but the screen doesn't appear and disappear. There's a fire in the movie, but screen is not burned. There's a war in the movie, there's a killing in the movie, but nothing happens to screen. Our relationship with Brahman is same. Brahman is like a screen, the background. The entire world, Jiva and Jagat, they are projected on the screen called Brahman, appear on the screen called Brahman. In that appearance, something happens. There's a war, there's a violence, there's a fire, there's killing, murder. Nothing affects the screen, nothing affects the Brahman. So the Brahman is a silent witness of the movie of life. Maya is the power by which we forget that there's called screen. There's a background called Brahman is there in all our activity, all our perception, all our thought process. There's a background screen called Brahman. This forgetfulness is called avarana. So this avarana Shakti of Maya, let us understand. The entire creation appears, the creation appears, the creation is projected from Brahman and dissolves into Brahman. Like waves rise in ocean and fall into the ocean. Similarly, the creation appears in Brahman and dissolves in Brahman, but nothing happens to Brahman. Nothing happens to screen. Movie is projected and movie is stopped, but nothing happens to screen. Like that, entire creation appears and disappears in Brahman. So now, what is creation? The creation is nothing but a name and form, nama and rupa. Let us look at a paper. This is a paper. So now, I'm folding the paper. Okay. So, what is this now? The same paper. It's called rocket. The paper appears to be a rocket. Now I forget the paper. I only focus on rocket. Rocket is just a name and form of paper. What has happened to paper? Paper is here only. Nothing has happened to paper. Paper is appearing like a rocket. No change has happened to the paper. Similarly, paper is equivalent to Brahman, pure awareness. That paper or pure awareness appears as various names and forms in the universe. Paper appears like a rocket, but then we start forget the paper and we call it as a rocket. Similarly, when Brahman appears everything in the universe, we forget Brahman and focus on the name and form. Name and form will not do any effect on Brahman. Name and form is for transactional purpose. Still, even if it appears as a rocket, it's paper only. Similarly, even if Brahman appears as the universe, but it's Brahman only. There's no change. So the name and form, appearance in Brahman, name and form makes an appearance in Brahman, and Brahman appears like a universe. This is called creation. So Brahman as the creator is called Ishvara, the Lord. So the Brahman, Ishvara is the cause and the world is the effect. Ishvara is the cause and the world is effect. This is called Karya Karana Sambandha, cause and effect relationship. Ishvara is the cause, world is the effect. Now when there is a cause and effect, what will happen? Mud is the cause, the pot is the effect. Is there really creation here? The mud only is appearing as a pot. There's no creation. Creation means something new. Now, is this a pot? This is a mud only. You want to call it as a pot because of name and form, you do it. But mud only is there. Similarly, entire creation is Brahman only. You want to call it as a table, chair, fan, everything is Brahman only. Name and form does not alter the nature of Brahman. Brahman is Satchidananda Swarupa, existence, consciousness, bliss. So the cause is the mud, effect is the pot. In fact, really, the pot only, the cause only is there. You can call it as a, of course, you can drink some, put some water and drink. There's function is possible. Name, form, and function is possible, but really mud is there. Similarly, in the world, so many name, form, and functions are possible, but what is there is Brahman only. Brahman doesn't undergo any change. So Brahman doesn't become the world. Brahman appears as the world. It's like saying milk becomes the curd. So then there's no milk. If Brahman becomes the world, there's no Brahman. Brahman doesn't happen like that. Brahman appears like a world. How? The water appears like a wave, ocean, and foam. So what is the power which makes this Brahman appears as the world? That power is called Maya Shakti. Yama iti Maya. What is not there, appears to be there, is called Maya Shakti. That Maya Shakti is the power of Brahman. Where is Maya Shakti? Maya Shakti is the hidden in Brahman. How it's hidden? Like heat is there in wood. You cannot see it. Like ghee is there, like butter is there in milk. The Maya Shakti is hidden in Brahman. And what is Maya Shakti? The Maya Shakti, or the power of Maya, is nothing but the causal form of the world. Causal form. Karana Rupa. What is causal form of the world? Anything. Let us say, I want to make a building. Okay. So there's a building requires a blueprint. On paper you draw. Then blueprint is made into a building. Blueprint is nothing but the building in the idea form. The entire idea of the creation is there in Brahman in the causal form, idea form. That's called Maya. My name, myself, yourself, entire everything in the all name and form are in the causal form in the universe. Okay. Causal form means idea form. Then that causal form will get projected and become the universe. Universe is nothing but name and form only. Nothing else is the universe. So universe, what we call as universe, is mithya or unreal. So name and form are just appearances. They don't have a substance of their own. For example, we go and ask a shopkeeper, give me a necklace. He brings a necklace. I say, no, I don't want gold. I want only necklace. How is it possible to have a necklace without gold? Necklace is nothing but gold appearing as necklace. The gold can appear as a ring, chain, necklace, and many ornaments. But when gold appears as any, the gold itself does not undergo any change. Gold only appears as ornaments. The gold jeweler, when he wants to give gold to you, sell the gold to you, necklace to you, he will weigh. In the weighing machine, he will weigh the gold only. He doesn't weigh necklace. There's nothing called necklace. Necklace is nothing but name and form. So similarly, entire universe is nothing but Brahman, Ishvara only. Everything in the universe is Ishvara. The stone, the plant, the tree, animals, human beings is nothing but Ishvara. Name and form have no existence of their own. Like necklace has no existence of its own. Everything is an appearance of Ishvara. Brahman. Jagat is mithya, world is mithya because world is nothing but name and form. What is there in the world? Sun. What is there in the world? Moon. What is there in the world? A forest. The name sun, moon, and forest are nothing but names and forms. Names and forms don't have independent reality. Only reality is substance, which is Ishvara, Brahman. That's why it said, Sarvam Khalu Brahma. All this is Brahman only. Everything is Brahman only. Other than Brahman, nothing is there in the universe. I am also Brahman. Jiva is also Brahman. What is Jiva? Is nothing but a name and form. That's all. Name and form has no substantial reality. So creation is nothing but appearance of name and Brahman appearing in name and form. Brahman is not created. The name and form appear. The name and form in dormant way on idea form is called Maya. Then that idea, the idea or causal form, then it appears as manifest form, subtle and gross form. Then it's called world. So this, let us look at our own example. No? We are in deep sleep. In deep sleep, where is the world? Where is body? Where is mind? What is there in deep sleep? Nothing is there. Ananda is there. Bliss is there. In deep sleep, we are one with the Ishvara only, Brahman only. Pure awareness only is deep sleep. What is the nature of pure awareness? It is neither aware of outside nor aware of inside. It's neither nor aware of both. It is not jada. It is not insentient. It is existence, consciousness. Bliss is our deep sleep. We go to Ishvara in deep sleep state. Only thing is, the one who goes there does not know he is going to Ishvara. So nothing is there. But there must be something. The ideas of the Jiva and Jagat must be in the dormant condition in the deep sleep. That's why morning I wake up. Morning I wake up. Why should I wake up? Because this idea form of Jiva and Jagat, or causal form of Jiva and Jagat, which is there in deep sleep, will come out. The vasana of Jiva will come out. I have to get up in the morning. I have to take care of my family. The vasanas will sprout like a seed sprouts. If you don't have vasana, there's no coming back from the deep sleep state. Videha mukti. So it sprouts. And then first the feeling of I am comes, ego comes. Then the body appears. Then I am the body feeling comes. Then the world appears and there is a world comes. So where was Jiva, me? Where was the world? Where was the body in deep sleep? They were all ideas in the consciousness. They were in the causal state. In the waking state, they appear. In the dream state, another world appears. In deep sleep state, everything goes. So we experience the creation of the world in the waking state, dissolution of the world in deep sleep state. At the individual level, at the cosmic level, this is called Srishti and Pralaya. Exactly like we are going through deep sleep state, the cosmos, the Brahmanda also go to the deep sleep state. That's called Pralaya. In the Pralaya, all the Jiva, Jagat and Jagat are in a very causal form, idea form, subtle form. Then, when the next creation starts, they sprout, appear. Because the Prarabdha karma of the universe starts manifesting. Next Brahmaji has to come. Creation starts. Then all Jivas will also take birth. So like this cycle, projection, dissolution, Srishti, Laya will keep on going. So this Maya Shakti has two abilities, powers. It's called power of projection, Vikshepa, and power of forgetfulness, Avarana. What is projection? Projection is taking the ideas in the causal form and projecting it as a larger gross form. Converting the blueprint into a building, equivalent to that. The creation, the entire universe is in the name and form, in the causal form, and that appears as the universe because of the Viksheva Shakti. And who does that? Ishvara does that. Ishvara has two powers. Ishvara uses the Vikshepa Shakti to project. The Vikshepa Shakti of Maya to project the universe. But Ishvara has no avarana. He will never forget who is he. There's no confusion for Ishvara. If there's a confusion for Ishvara, there will be chaos in the world. Ishvara has never confusion. Ishvara avarana doesn't affect. Ishvara is always aware that he is Brahman. Avarana is not there for Ishvara. Avarana is there for Jiva. Jiva forgets that I am the Sakshi. Sakshi is Brahman. Identifies the body, mind, and intellect. This is called Avarana. I told you earlier the three seers are there. Seer number 1, seer number 2, seer number 3. Our entire confusion of samsara is mixing up these three seers. Seer 3, seer 2, seer 1. Suppose we are able to separate out seer 3, seer 2, seer 1. There's no samsara because I know I am awareness, Sakshi, all the time. Sakshi is not affected by anything in life. Sakshi is the Atma. So this confusion is there only for Jiva. It's not there for Ishvara. Avarana is there for Jiva. Now, avarana for jiva affects at two levels. First, jiva confuses itself with the seer number 1 and 2, forgetting that he is really seer number 3. Then this is at the individual level. Then when I see the world is full of name and forms. The jiva forgets that world is Brahman. Avarana comes into picture. So Brahman is forgotten. The world only is there now. So at the individual level, there's a confusion where I identify the body and mind and intellect. And the universal level, I look at the world and forget Brahman. Now this is a big blunder we are doing, mistake. This causes tremendous suffering. This tremendous suffering at the two level, at the individual level, when I look at myself, jiva, and when I look at jagat, I'm doing two levels of mistake. Jiva level, I have become body, mind, and intellect. Seer 3, seer 1, seer 2. And I have forgotten I'm Sakshi. So you say, I am walking. When you say I am walking, body is walking. The body walking is superimposition on I am. The body walking is superimposition. I am walking. I am old. I am young. I am handsome. All the characteristics of the body is superimposition on I am. Now, what is this I am? Real I am is the Sakshi. The I is confused. The body has become I am. I am has become taken the form of body. What is the effect of that? I suffer. Body grows, body becomes old. I am also growing old. I am also suffering. So all sorts of suffering of the body is superimposed on Atma. I am. What is being pointed by Atma? I am. What is this I am? I means consciousness. Am means existence. Existence and consciousness, which is being pointed out by the word I am, we are superimposed. The body. Body is a continuously changing phenomena. So suffering of the pain of the body becomes my pain. Suffering related to body becomes my suffering. Mine is Atma. In reality, Atma is not affected by anything. Then comes mind. I am so happy. I am so sorry. I am depressed. I should not have done. Regrets, anxiety. All are superimposed. I am. I am really is Sakshi. There's nothing can affect Atma. But we are superimposing. It's like on the movie screen, you're superimposing a movie. There's a fire. Oh, there's a fire there. But nothing happens to the screen. Nothing happens to Atma. But still, I am suffering in life because mind is superimposed to Atma. Then intellect is superimposed to Atma. I know I have to study so much. I don't know the subject. I know the subject. Knowledge and ignorance is superimposed on Atma because the intellect. So the body, mind, intellect identification with Atma is the problem. If you are able to separate out, then there's no problem. Anything happening in the world, no problem, because Atma is free. So that's why samsara, we have to get out of samsara by understanding Nanu, Nanembudu, Nanalla, Ideha, Manabuddhi, Nanalla, Sachidanandatma, Shiva Nananani, Shivoham, Shivoham, Shivoham. I'm not the body, I'm not the mind, I'm not the intellect, I'm pure consciousness. This separation has to happen. This separation has to happen logically. Physically, there's no separation possible because Atma is all pervading. So I'll say, remove this glass from the table. I can remove from the table. I can physically separate it because table is a physical entity. But remove this glass from space. I take from here, again space is there. I take from here, again space is there. I cannot remove any glass or anything from space because space is all pervading. Similarly, you cannot remove anything from Atma because Atma is all pervading. You cannot remove anything. Then you have to only logically understand. This logical understanding called Vichara, Atma, Anatma, Vichara, Nitya, Nitya, Viveka. Because Maya itself is not a problem. Maya Shakti is not a problem. Understand, Maya is not a cause of our problem. Avarana Shakti, Maya is the cause of problem. Maya is really entertaining. It projects the universe. Viksheva Shakti. Wonderful universe is projected. It's like a wonderful movie. Okay. The problem is not the movie. Problem is the identification of the movie. Avarana is the problem. Avarana Shakti of Maya is the problem. Viksheva Shakti of Maya is not a problem. Somebody goes to the movie. So romantic. Hero and heroine keep on singing songs, going around, dancing in the park. So hero and heroine are separated. This person starts crying, or the lady starts crying because she identifies the heroine. This person identifies the hero. The movie is not a problem. Movie is beautiful. But identification is the problem. The Maya projection is not a problem. Avarana is the problem. Forgetfulness of who are a problem. Otherwise, you'll enjoy the Maya as Sakshi, witness. Our problem is not Vikshepa Shakti of Maya. Our problem is Avarana Shakti of Maya. Avarana Shakti of Maya is ignorance that can be corrected through Jnana, Atma Vichara. So now, to give an example of Maya Shakti and Brahman, I'll give an example of dream state, sleep. In sleep, I have a dream. In the dream, there's a beautiful forest, the mountain, rivers, and everything appears to be real in the dream. I see a tiger and start running. I jump into a river, then I wake up. After waking up, I understand, oh, I start laughing. There's no tiger, there's no river. It's all appearance. But when I experience the dream, it appears to be so real. So this is because of the Nidra Shakti or dreaming ability of the individual. But waking state is the Maya Shakti. The projection is happening. All sun, moon, earth is projected. All are name and form. Nothing is there. No object is there called name and form. Object is there. Their name and form projected in the waking state dream by Maya Shakti. Maya Shakti itself is not a problem because without Maya Shakti, Brahman cannot be known. Without Maya Shakti, I am Atma, I am Brahman cannot be known. When you get body, mind, and intellect, which is Anatma, non-self, then only you're able to understand the self. Then you say, I am Atma. For community, saying that you need Anatma, body, mind, intellect is required. But to realize the nature of self and Brahman, the Maya Shakti helps in that sense. So the Brahman is not affected by Maya. Ishvara is not affected by Avarana Shakti of Maya. So let us go to the next shloka. So now what happens? The subtle body, which is very, very close to the witness, Sakshi, Sukshma Sharira and Karana Sharira together is very close to Sakshi. It becomes animated, it becomes alive, and it identifies itself with the body, gross body. And this is called empirical self or jiva. So the empirical self, jiva, is because of reflected consciousness. Jiva becomes animated because of reflected consciousness, chidavasa. Then it identifies the body. We forgetting that I am the real sakshi. The consciousness is nothing but sakshi. The veiling power is responsible for superimposition of the body and mind and intellect on sakshi, forgetting I am sakshi. Avarana, when is removed through how viveka and vairagya, discrimination and dispassion, nitya anitya viveka, atma anatma viveka, then the separation happens. Sakshi is different from the anatma. Otherwise, anatma is superimposed on the atma. Then I am no longer jiva, I am sakshi. And the person who has done this separation becomes a jivan mukta. So this is an individual level. Similarly, at the world level, the Brahman is concealed by the name and form in the world. And once I remove this, then Brahman appear to be having the name and form as the attributes, changing attributes. If I am able to separate out with the discrimination, name and form from Brahman, then I realize that entire world what I see is nothing but Brahman. So two level of realization happens. I am Sakshi, I am Atma is one level of realization, and the world is Brahman is another level of realization. So this realization I call it as Atma Darshanam, Brahma Darshanam, Brahma Darshanam, Satya Darshanam. First, Atma Darshanam, to know that I am the Sakshi, is called Atma Darshanam. Brahma Darshanam, to know the world is Brahman, is called Brahma Darshanam. And this is the realization of the truth, Satya Darshanam. Atma and Brahma are one. Inner and outer one. Subjective reality and objective reality is one reality. It's called Brahman. So this understanding okay, let me show it as a picture image. What I call myself, Jiva, consists of a Karana Sharira, causal body, a Sukshma Sharira, subtle body, and a Sthula Sharira, grossal body. That's what I call as Jiva. Jiva, Sukshma and Karana Sharira is illuminated by the light of the self, Atma Jyoti. Then the Sukshma Sharira identifies the Sthula Sharira, think that I am the body, forgetting that I am the Sakshi. So this is the error at the individual level, Jiva. That's how I become Jiva. At the universal level, the world, the name and form is superimposed on Brahman. I forget the Brahman. Name and form becomes important. So two levels of errors are happening, Jiva level and Jagat level. So this has to be corrected by the understanding of Vedanta teaching, Tattvam Asi, Tattvam Asi. Tvam means Jiva. Jiva level correction has to happen. What is Jiva level correction? Who am I? Nanu Nanembudu Nanalla, Deha Manabuddhi Nanalla, Sachidananda Atma, Shiva Nane, Shivoham, Shivom. Sakshi, I am Sakshi at the Jiva level correction. Then Tat means Brahman. What is Brahman? The entire appearance, universe is Brahman. Consists of sun, moons, plants, trees, mountains, valleys, living beings, non-living beings, everybody, everything is included Brahman. Tat is Brahman. So the name and form you remove, what is there is Brahman. So correction has to happen two levels, at the individual level, at the universal level. Universal level correction is called understanding Tam Tat Padartha. Individual level is correct understanding Tam Padartha. Then you have to understand these two are one. Tat and Tam Asi. When the name and form are ignored, Nama Rupa, which is a projection, vikshepa of Maya, then what remains is Brahman. So we do mistakes at the jiva, individual, subjective mistake. I consider myself as a jiva. I don't know, I'm a sakshi. Whenever I use the word for I for many reasons. Husband, wife, body, man, woman, engineer, doctor, old, or I'm happy, unhappy. But really, if you look at all these things, there is something unchanging. I am is there all the time. I was born in Mysore 50 years back. I grew up in Bombay. I am in Bangalore. What has not changed? I has not changed. Body has changed. I was happy when I was a child, but I was unhappy. I went to Bombay. So the mind has changed. But I has not changed. There's unchanging I is there. We are a mixture of changing and unchanging. Unchanging I is the Atma, Sakshi. Always we confuse the unchanging with the changing I, changing body, mind, intellect. That's our misery. That's what is called samsara. Unchanging I does not require any support. Unchanging is I is when nothing changes, what is the problem for it? Happiness is there, unhappiness is there, body changes, mind. Unchanging I doesn't change. Then it doesn't require support. Right? But I always want support. I want to have friends. If no friends, I feel suffering. I feel suffer. Because I want depend on friends. I want money. I want support from the world. I want happiness from the world. So I am constantly looking for support. The Atma does not require support, but I am confusing Atma with the body and mind. That's why I always constantly looking for a support. I am clinging for support. I want. Atma says, I don't care. But when I identify the mind, body, and intellect, I want something. Anything happening in the world disturbs me. Correct? So now, when I want support, where do I get support? I get support from the world. I need support from the world. I want to look for happiness. I look for happiness from money, in terms of power, position, relationships, family, children, education. I want a support because I'm helpless creature. If I am the Atma, Sakshi, I don't need any help. I am blissful. Atma is not affected by anything. But I don't know that. I mix up sphere number 1 and 2 with sphere number 3. Then I'm constantly looking for support from the world. And what kind of support from the world? World, everything is changing. Everything in the world is changing. What was there last year is not there today. What is there today? Nothing in the only change is the permanent reality in the world. So I want to hold on to something in the world which is changing. It hurts. It creates pain. What is changing? You cannot hold. Now here also there's a problem. There's an objective mistake I'm doing. Subjective mistake is I'm the body, mind, intellect I'm doing. Objective mistake I'm thinking the world is real. False. World is not real. World is changing. World is unreal, mithya. Brahman alone is the real. It's the background. What is Brahman in the world? Brahman in the world is everything in the world we call as existence. The flower exists, the sun exists, the moon exists, the tree exists. Everything in the world is isness. Existence. Here we are making a mistake. We are thinking that flower is real, but flower is born yesterday, grows up today, and dies tomorrow. Existence doesn't die. Existence I cannot see. Existence is Brahman. I am not hold on to. I'm not looking for Brahman, but I'm looking for flower which is changing. So I'm trying to take a support from the changing and dying. Whereas the real support for me should be Brahman, which is unchanging, which is not there. Then I suffer double error. One subjective error, another objective error. Subjective error is I don't know who am I. That's why I need support. Objective error, I am holding on to something which is changing. So example is a person goes walking, is going in a forest, night, he falls into a well. Fortunately, he is able to hold on to a creeper. He's so happy, he survived. Then something is trickling into his mouth. The honey is trickling into his mouth. He's so happy. God is very graceful. I am able to survive and I am getting sweet honey. But what he doesn't know is that what his creeper is holding on is nothing but a snake. At any point of time, it can leave. And the honey is dripping because there's honeycomb. Anytime honeycomb can attack him, honeybee can attack him. And the well below, in the water below, deeper, there are crocodiles. So we are clinging on to something which is completely changing, and anytime can cause pain for us, but we want to hold on. That momentary pleasure we are thinking that permanent. Really, it's not that. Reality is Atma or Brahma, Atma and Brahma. That's the only subjective error and objective error we have to correct. So Jiva has never a freedom. Jiva can never be free. It's like mind can never have a solution. Atma has never a problem. See, Atma, Sakshi has never a problem. Mind has no solution. So question is, who are you? One who has no problem or one who has no solution? We have to correct ourselves. As long as I identify the body and mind, samsara will never go. I have to again and again remember I am Sakshi. Disidentify with the body, mind, intellect. The superimposition transfers the characteristic of anatma, body and mind, on Atma. There is no transference. For example, I keep a flower near a glass of water. The glass of water appears to be red. There's no redness in the water. Similarly, because of the body, mind, intellect, Atma appears to be suffering of old age, unhappiness. It is a false transference, superimposition. There's really nothing has happened. So now, what I do a big blunder. Body, mind, intellect is superimposed on me. And because of that, I suffer because I don't know who really I am. And all my effort is to remove the problem which makes me suffer. Instead of removing the ignorance, understanding who am I, I'm trying to remove the problem. I'm trying to find a solution. The mind has no solution. Atma has no problem. I don't realize I'm the Atma. I keep on trying to get rid of problems and trying to find a solution. We have to find out who has no solution, who has no problem. That's why anybody comes and asks Ramana Maharshi a question, Ramana Maharshi first will ask, who are you? One who is asking the question, is it Jiva or Atma? If you realize you are Atma, then there's no problem at all. That's why in Vedanta, we don't solve the problem. We dissolve the problem. There's no solution for problem in life. Please understand, there's no solution for problem in life at all. As a child, you have problem, school, tension. As an adult, you have problem, okay, earning money. As a husband, you have a problem, or a wife, you have a problem. For a job, you have a problem, okay. So then old age, you have a problem. Everywhere there's a problem. By understanding Vedanta, by doing spiritual journey, you will not be able to solve the problem. But you will be able to dissolve the problem. Why you can't solve the problem? Because problems are there. They are always changing. Body, mind, intellect, the world is constantly changing. How do you find a solution for something which is changing? We'll dissolve the problem when I understand I'm not the body and mind and intellect. I'm pure awareness. And world is Brahman, unchanging. That will dissolve the problem. So now there's no physical separation required. It's an understanding, clarity which is required. How is that clarity? Sun is rising in the east, setting in the west. So I start thinking that sun is going around the earth. The scientist will come and tell me, no, earth is going around the sun, by logical reasoning. Similarly, Vedanta will tell you with logical reasoning why you are Atma. The clarity arising out of Vedanta Jnana is called Jivan Mukti. It is not a special experience. It's not a new experience. After I understand from scientists that earth is going around sun, still morning when I see sun is rising in the east and setting in the west. But my understanding has changed based on the teaching of science. Similarly, based on teaching of Vedanta, I have to realize that I am the Atma. Atma is Brahman. Okay, this realization does not change the perception. It does not give you a new experience, but it gives a new understanding of life. So now, a person who is Jivan Mukta, he has removed Avana Shakti. How? Through Viveka, discrimination. Avana is due to ignorance. Atma, Anatma Viveka, Nitya, Anitya Viveka, he removes. And he develops Shat Sampatti, Shama, Dhamma, Titiksha, Uparti, Shraddha, Samadhana. He develops a clarity at the subjective level. I'm not the body, I'm not the mind, I'm not the intellect, I'm Atma. This is called Tvam Padartha. I understand see Tvam Padartha properly. Then the objective level, he understands the name and form is unreal. Jagat Mithya, Brahma Satya, Brahman alone is real. So this gives him the freedom. How do you understand about Brahman? How do you understand about self? So you look at yourself. The body is changing, the mind is changing, intellect, but I am not changing. So the unchanging I am you have to hold on as Atma. In the world, the flower is there, tree is there, sun is there. The isness is Brahman. So we mistakenly say flower is, tree is. We say existence as an adjective for flower. In reality, we say existence appears as flower. Sun appears as flower. Tree appears as flower. Existence appears as tree. Existence appears as sun. Okay. Everything is appearance of existence. That existence is called Sat. That's called Brahman. So we are interchanging adjective and noun. Flower is the noun and existence is the adjective. Flower is. Instead of that, you have to say existence is appearing as flower. Existence is noun. Flower is the attribute. If you separate this name and form from existence, then there is Brahman only. So the name and form, let us take the example. See my hand. When you see my hand, the hand, I am able to see the hand. In reality, it is a reflection of light on the hand I am seeing. It's a light I am seeing, not the hand. Hand, there is a break. Between the fingers, there's a gap. But there's no gap in the light. Even if I remove the hand, the light is already there. But I'm not able to see the light. I'm able to see the light only when this hand because of reflection. Right? Similarly, because of Maya, you are able to experience Brahman. You are able to understand Brahman. Without Maya, nobody can understand Brahman. Brahman is like a light of self, light of awareness. When it falls on the objects, there's a reflection. Then we see objects are there. The objects are really nothing but a reflection of light of self, Atma Jyoti. When the hand is not there, the object is not there, still the light is there. Awareness is there. But it cannot be experienced. So reflection of the light of the self on the object or Chidabhasa gives us pointer to Brahman. Otherwise, nobody can know Brahman. Nobody can know Atma. When hand moves, the light doesn't move. Similarly, when mind moves, the Chidavasa appears to be moving, Jiva. Really, there's no, really, the mind which moves. So now the question comes, how do I understand Brahman? Brahman, what is the nature of Brahman? Atmanatma Viveka will give you Atma Dhyana. I am Sakshi. So Brahman, the world, what we see, has 5 characteristics. Asti, existence. Bhati, shining. Priyam, lovability. Nama and Rupa, name and form. Everything in the world has only 5 characteristics. Banana exists. Asti. Banana exists. Okay, but I know banana. Bhati, the knowledge, consciousness is there. I like banana. Lovability is there. Banana has a form and name. Name and form. Out of these, Asti Bhati Priyam is called Sat Chit Ananda. These belong to Brahman. Name and form is because of Maya, projection. So name and form is Mithya. Asti Bhati Priyam aspect of world is Brahman. Now, where is this Asti Bhati? Brahman is present. Brahman is present in everywhere. The space, the wind, the fire, the water, earth, living beings, non-living beings, everywhere Brahman is there. Brahman is nature of Sat Chit Ananda, existence, consciousness, bliss. Always there. Your stone has consciousness, but it's not manifest. Vyakta. Otherwise, God or Brahman is everywhere. So, ignoring the name and form, devote yourself to Satchit Ananda aspect of Brahman, world, Satchit Ananta aspect of Brahman. By practicing Samadhi, internal or external, one realizes the true nature. So, any aspect of creation, the Brahman is all pervading reality. Like space is pervades everything, Brahman pervades all living being and non-living as existence. Oh, then you say there's nothing exists there. It's empty. What is meaning of empty? The name and form is not there, but emptiness exists. Nothing exists is the existence. Nothing exists. Nothing means no name and form, but there's existence. We cannot think of non-existence in the universe. Everything in the universe is existence. That existence is Brahman. So Brahman appears, the existence is called Asti, Sat. Bhati means shining. Everything in the world is known. Sun is there. I know sun. Moon is there. I know. Everything is appearing in consciousness. Consciousness is called Chit. So every object of the world is appearing in Chit consciousness. And Ananta, Ananda means Ananta, infinite. Infinity or limitlessness is the nature of Brahman. Any object has a limitation of time and space, but Brahman itself has no limitation of time and space. All objects appear and disappear in Brahman. Brahman itself is not affected by anything. It's called Ananta. Sat Chit, and this Ananta is also called Ananda at Priyam. So I like some object in the world. Like gives me happiness, Ananda. So no, I don't like something. Where is the Ananda? So when I don't like something, if that object is not there in my life, still I have ananda. Something gives me ananda when it comes, something gives me ananda when it goes. Now this ananda which I experience is the reflection of ananda of the Atma. Anantate of the Atma, self. Nama and Rupa, I have already told, are Mithya. So these 5 aspects are there. Out of these 5 aspects, Nama and Rupa, we have to remove by discrimination. Their creation. Sat Chit Ananda is uniformly present in all living beings, our entire universe. Ishvara Sarva Bhotanam Hadi Arjuna Tishtati. Samam Sarveshu Bhoteshu. Ishvara is there in equal proportion, not something. Stone has more consciousness, human being has more consciousness, stone has less consciousness. No. The manifestation of consciousness is different. Electricity is same. When it goes to the bulb gives light. When it goes to the fan, it gives air. Similarly, Atma presence in every living and non-living being same. But manifestation is dependent on the subtle body or Sukshma Sharira. So now, there are 2 types of problems. Are there? Subjective error and objective error. Subjective error, I consider myself a body, mind, intellect. I cry. Then I look for support. Without understanding I am Atma, I look for support. This is subjective error. And the objective error, I think the world is real. I want to hold on to the world. And without understanding, world is Brahman. Subjective error and objective error has to be corrected. How? Through intellectual to understanding Vedanta, Shravana, Manana. Sir, I have done enough Shravana, Manana. I have clear intellectual knowledge, but I don't have experiential knowledge. So there seems to be a gap between the intellectual knowledge and experiential knowledge. First of all, we have to understand knowledge of Brahman, Atma-dnana, is not a new experience. Oh, one day I got an Atma-dnana, I got a fantastic experience. Wow, such an experience, Brahmananda. It's not a new experience because any new experience will come and go. Brahman is present all the time in our waking state, dream state, deep sleep state. So it cannot be new experience. It is something which I ignore. I'm ignoring all the time what is there. I'm ignoring, but I'm recognizing it. In all our experiences, awareness is there. That awareness I am, recognition of this is Atma-dnana. Wrongly recognize I am as a body and mind and intellect is called Adnana. So correctly, all the time, recognizing in all the states, I am Atma. So this is called Nirvikalpa Dnana. Atma is Nirvikalpa, thoughtless. Without that, we will start thinking, I'll meditate and experience Brahman. Meditation cannot lead to Brahman because meditation is a mental activity. Meditation can help you to calm down the mind, make the mind silent. But happiness which you gain in meditation is a reflection of Atma. Atma is you. Samadhi or meditation or any other practice cannot give Atma-dnana. They can help you. They can help you to calm your mind. But Atma-dnana can solely come through Vedanta, Vichara, Shravana and Manana. Then in this particular sloka, Sri Shankaracharya is stressing one more important aspect, Nididhyasa. Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasa. What are different types of Nididhyasa? We'll study in the next class. Nididhyasa is not a meditation, it's a contemplation. There are many ways of doing Nididhyasa. Listening to the spiritual master, Shravana itself is Nididhyasa. Because who am I am trying to understand is Nididhyasa. Enquiry, listening to the master. Manana is clarifying the doubt is also Nididhyasa. Nididhyasa can be done while walking, sleeping, working, sitting. Anytime you can do Nididhyasa. Nididhyasa is inquiring who am I. That inquiry does not require time and place. Now, when I inquire who am I can get many answers based on my mental impressions. So these answers have to be corrected based on the Vedantic teaching. Basically, nididhyasa is correcting our mental talk. What we think about ourselves, we have to correct it. We are accustomed to thinking ourselves as a body, mind, intellect. And we keep talking to ourselves as a body, mind, intellect. This has to be corrected. It's a correction in self-talk is called nididhyasa. So, for example, somebody is teaching Vedanta. Oh, I know, I have heard Vedanta. I know very well intellectual knowledge, but I am suffering. So, what you have done when you say I am suffering, already you are superimposing Atma and Anatma of the body and mind on Atma. Immediately you have to correct. No, no, no. As per Vedanta, I am Atma. Atma is Sakshi. Sakshi is Brahman. This self-correction has to happen. The intellectual understanding, the self-talk has to be corrected. That's called nididhyasa. Nididhyasa is not getting a new state of consciousness. Nididhyasa is correcting the self-state, the wrong thinking every time, so that the truth that I am Brahman, Aham Brahmasmi, Sarvam Khalida Brahma, Jagadit, everything is established very deeply, accepted by conscious mind and subconscious mind. Now, this cannot be forced through contemplation of the teachings of Vedanta. Looking at our own day-to-day experiences, we have to get that clarity. Nididhyasa is not stopping the thoughts. On the other hand, nididhyasa is holding on to who am I? I am Brahman, holding on to that thought and removing all thoughts which are opposing that by Vedantic Vichara. Finally, I am Brahman gets deeper and deeper. Jagat Mithya, Brahma Satya thought gets deeper and deeper. That's called nididhyasa. So nididhyasa, paroksha jnana has to be aparoksha jnana. So paroksha jnana means tattvamasi, you are that. This is the teaching of the master. Aparoksha jnana means I am Brahman, Aham Brahmasmi, Shivoham. That thought has to be deeper. Otherwise, what I have thought, I am suffering, I am samsari. The thought has to be deeper. I am Brahman, I am consciousness, I am Shiva Swarupi. Every time wrong thoughts are coming, correct the wrong thought with the right Vedantic thought. That is called nididhyasa. Nididhyasa we can also do and sit in one place, deep contemplation and silence, going to silence. That's called sitting nididhyasa. But nididhyasa is not just sitting and meditating in one place. Nididhyasa means standing, walking, writing, listening to Guru, doing the transcription of the work of the Guru, master's teaching when you do transcription, or when you discuss in a Vedanta study circle discussion. All those are nididhyasa only. Whichever helps you to get imbibe the Vedantic truths deeply in you is called nididhyasa. Sitting and contemplating the Vedantic teaching, I am Brahman, who am I, inquiry, is also nididhyasa. That type of nididhyasa is taught in more detail in the next week, next class. Let us sit silently for some time. Let us contemplate what we have done, what I have studied today. Who am I? What is this world? There are two types of error I make. One is subjective error and other is objective error. Subjectively, I consider myself as Jiva. I am identifying myself as the body, mind, and intellect. The characteristic of the body, mind, and intellect is superimposed on Atma, the self, Sakshi. I am not the body, mind, and intellect. I am pure awareness, Sakshi. This understanding is called Jnana. So Jnana is a logical and intellectual clarity arrived at through Shravana, Manana, and Nididhyasa. The subjective error, I am the body, I am the mind, I am the intellect, has to be clarified, has to be corrected by understanding Nanu Nanembudu Nanalla, Ideha Manabuddhi Nanalla, Sachidanandatma Shivanam Nane, Shivoham Shivoham. I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the intellect, I am pure consciousness. This understanding has to correct the subjective error. When I make a subjective error, I suffer because body changes, the mind changes, intellect changes. I want help. I'm helpless. I seek help from the world. I help from relatives, friends, objects of the world. I want power, position. I cling on to objects of the world without knowing that objects of the world is nothing but name and form. Name and form is mithya. The underlying reality of the world is Brahman. That alone is Satya. Existence alone is the underlying reality. So I hold on to temporary changing reality and then I suffer. This is objective error. Subjective error and objective error has to be corrected by realizing I am the Sakshi and the world is Brahman. This understanding process has to be deeper and deeper. Realization of Brahman is not a new experience. Realization of Brahman is through discrimination, viveka, clarity arising out of Vedanta Dhnana, Shravana, Manana, Nidhyasa. Looking for a new experience of Brahman is false because Brahman is present in all the experiences. Screen is present in all the movie. Sit silently. With the understanding I am Atma and world is nothing but Brahman. Atma and Brahma are one. Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti 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 Purnamadaha Purnamidaha Purnamadam Purnat Purnamuduchyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Nanu Nanembudu Nanalla Ideha Manabuddhi Nanalla Sachidanandatma Shivananane Shivoham 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 Atmadarshanam Brahmadarshanam Brahmadarshanam Satyadarshanam. To know the self is know God. To know God is to be God. To be God is to know the truth. Antarjyotihi, Bahirjyotihi, Pratyakjyotihi, Paratpara, Jyotireva Jyotihi, Swayam Jyotihi, Atma Jyotihi, Shivosmiham. I am the light of the self, awareness, Atma Jyoti. I am the light illuminating the world, Jagat Jyoti. I am the light beyond all lights, Param Jyoti. I am the self-luminous light, Swayam Jyoti, light of love, compassion, wisdom. Lokaha samastaha sukino bhavantu. Lokaha samastaha sukino bhavantu. Lokaha samastaha sukino bhavantu. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Rub both of your hands. Give warmth to the eyes. Slowly open your eyes. There are a lot of websites and social media sites for Light of Self Foundation children program are listed. You can subscribe to them or you can forward to your friends who may be interested. Any questions? Any questions are there for people?